Okay, let's start. Uh, let's do this here. I will. So, to start with, I can show, right? Like you can have multiple accounts, right? What I've already done is I'll just share my screen and how to start, right? A lot of people also have a question around how can I start the application? How will I be able to access the application? Right? So we'll basically address that as well. I'll show the desktop how it will look when you get your uh, your setup done, right? So basically, the first thing is how do I? So a lot of question ask me, can I run this on a MacBook? Can I run this on a phone? Can I run this on a mobile? Yes, right. Any device that you have, you can run the software on any of the devices. Right? So you don't have to worry about if I have a desktop which is on Mac OS, right? That is still okay. There is no problem if you have a Mac OS or if you have a Windows OS. Right? The system works on either of them. The way it works is we create a virtual machine for you. A virtual machine is a dedicated machine similar to like a laptop that you have, right? We assign a box that is hosted on cloud. What does that mean? Right? So this is so basically what I'm trying to do is I'm going to cover the basics here, right? So I'm basically going to cover the basics first on how this works, right? How basically you will be able to access your machine. This machine is hosted, like I said, on a cloud, so it has its own internet and power. You don't have to worry about what if my internet goes down, what if my power goes down. Whatever logic that you have is hosted on, because it is hosted on a cloud, it will keep running irrespective of whether you have power or you have internet or not. Now, do you have to pay separately for the VM? No, you don't have to. It is part of your subscription. So you don't have to pay anything extra to make sure that the logic that you have, the rules that you have, that you specify on TradeFlow, they are uh, they're running all the time during the market hours. Right? Now, uh, how will I access that machine? To access your machine, we do the full setup. Right? You don't have to worry about the setup as well. We will do the setup and we will give you the login credentials to access that machine. So all you need to do is basically just use the user ID and password that we share with you, and you can use that to log in into that machine from any of the devices that has internet access or power. Right? So let's say you start the machine from your laptop in the morning and then you shift to a mobile device. You can then access the same from your mobile device as well. Then, and it's a single instance. So at any given point of time, there's only one login that is possible on that device. So let's say if you log in from your laptop and then you shift to a mobile device, uh, the laptop the connection will be disconnected and the mobile connection will be enabled. Now, since this is hosted on VM, certain people have questions around what is the security, right? I'm sharing my, in case of ZERODHA API key and API secrets, right? Now, your API key and API secret by itself cannot give control to anybody, because in order to generate a session between any application to your broker account, which is in this example ZERODHA, you also need to generate a token, which is called as a request token. Now that request token step requires you to enter your user ID and password. Along with that, you have a TOTP or a mobile code that you need to enter. Nobody from the TradeFlow team will ask you for your password or TOTP. What this means is your account is secure. It's basically uh, I'm just showing the TradeFlow screen right now, right? I'm not showing anything else right now. I'm just talking about how the setup works, right? So how is your account secured? So when you share your API key and secret for ZERODHA, then you don't have to worry about can anybody else access my account because I'm sharing a key and a secret. No, nobody else can access the account because you will have to generate the token yourself using your username, password, and mobile code or TOTP. Now, this is the everyday process. The token that you generate is only valid for a single day. Now, the way it works is the machine that is allocated to you starts automatically between 8:40, around 8:40, and you get an automated message that your machine is ready. You can log in. You can log in into that box, generate the token, paste the token right here in the RT box, which I'm showing here. I'm highlighting, I've just generated the token for myself, and I'm basically the area that I've highlighted on the screen is the one where you paste your RT. Right? Then if you're dealing with a single account, for whichever account you've selected the request token, you select that account. A lot of people have multiple accounts. You can select the corresponding account that is linked for that request token. So for whichever account you've generated the token, you're basically selecting that account right here. After that, the next step is selecting which index and expiry you're trading. And then right here you have the list of indexes and list of expiries. So just moving on to the original point about security. Since the token is only valid for a single day, when the machine starts, you generate the token. After that, if you close the application and reopen it, you don't have to worry about generating the token again. The session is established and is valid only for a single day. Now, just to reiterate, we do the setup. There is all we need is the details from you. For in case of ZERODHA, your ZERODHA API key, API secret, and your user ID. After that, we set up from our side and share you the virtual machine credentials so that you can access the machine for your login. This machine starts automatically and you get a notification every morning. Once the trading hours are over, after 3:30, around 3:35 and beyond, your machine will automatically shut down. Let's say for some reason you want to still try out something, you've recently joined and you want to explore the features after market hours also, you can just drop a note to us and the machine will be started for you so that you can access the TradeFlow application even after trading hours. Now, the second question is asked, okay, I have taken a position from TradeFlow, right? What happens? I have some positions on my ZERODHA account and I have some positions that I am carrying overnight. Will those be visible here? Yes. For the index and expiry that you have selected, whether you're selecting an NRML, which is an overnight position, if you're selecting an MIS, then those MIS positions. Whenever you change any position on your terminal, right, those will be reflected here. And whenever you make a change on right here from TradeFlow is also visible from your Kite account, right? So there's a one-to-one synchronization. Every order, every request that you send from here is visible on your broker, and every order and request that you send out from the broker is available and shown here. Yes, right. So there are multiple options to enter, right, from TradeFlow application. We'll jump into that as well right now, right? So once I have initialized, I'm basically saying, okay, this is the combination that I want to track. Now, any position if I was carrying, right, and I had NRML selected, it would show up. I don't carry any overnight position, so that's why it's empty right now. And I've selected paper trading because there's no live market right now. Now, let's say I want to make an entry, right? So there are multiple ways you can make an entry here. Now, the most newest addition that we had is you can look at a predefined straddles. So this is a straddle based on where the spot is. So if the spot is right now, spot is at 40,041. So the straddle by default is at 41,000. You also have two more straddle, right? So 40,900, 40,800 straddle. Similarly, 41,100 straddle. Right? You can take an entry right from here. I can take that specific entry and click on sell, and this position will be taken. Right? So I have two positions now that I have taken. I can square off individual legs. I can take any other straddle. I can just do 20, let's say 125 of this and sell from here. So this is for people who like to take straddle, and they also want to look at what is the price at which it is running, right? So the LTB price, since the market is not live right now, else you will see the price is getting updated here, right? Whatever is the current price will get updated for that specific strike. You also get to see what was the previous close, what is today's open, and where is the combined premium right now. So the now column actually shows you the sum of both, right? So it's a sum of the call and the put straddle prices, which is 519 right now. So you get a sense of whether it is going up or going down. Right? You also have an option to individually select a strike. Right? So if I checked on checkbox where I can say it's an individual, I can just sell 175 of a single leg, which is this one right here. Right? So let me take this one right here. Right? Let's say 200 of this. I can 41,200 call. I want to sell, which is at 194. I have a third entry right here. So this gives me full flexibility of entering from multiple. I can choose to enter through a single strike or through a combined strike. Similarly, I'll just uncheck this. Same is for triangle. So you have 100-point triangle all the way to 1,000-point triangle, and then there are combined premiums. Right? You can look at individual legs and you can look at the combined premium. If you're looking at combined premium to enter, you can follow this. Uh, Finally, you have an option to create your custom list. Right? This is more like a custom watch list. I can keep adding here and have a selection of a specific strike that I'm monitoring, 41,300, and let's say 39,800. Right? Now, this is the combination that I want to monitor, and on a click of a button, I can add this strike right from here. So now I have a new entry here on the grid, which is a combination of whatever I want to create. Also here also you have individual option where you can enter individual, like you can do a buy or a sell, right? Irrespective of what you want to do, you can click on a sell or a buy, right? Right? So that's on the entry through this grid, right? If you're somebody who doesn't want to enter by looking at a specific strike or a price at that point of time, then you have an option of auto entry, right? We'll jump into that as well. So what is an auto entry? I'll just close this. Now, let's say I want to clear this up. On a click of a button, I can square off the full position that I have open here, right? Or I can choose to just square off a single leg, right? Let's say I just want to square off one leg, that I can click on 1/2, 1/4. So whatever I want to exit, if I want to exit half, I can click on half quantity is exited. If I click on one, full quantity is exited. I can click on one here and this leg goes away. Right? So you have full flexibility in terms of if you want to square off one leg, you can square off full, you can square off half, you can square off 1/4. Right? So that's on the grid as well. Right? I'll talk about more details on the grid level as well, but looking at an auto entry option. So let's look at I'm just looking at the questions as well. I think some people are asking questions as we go along. So I'll try and answer those questions as we go along. Okay. So when you say, I'm looking at, the question is, let's say iron butterfly, right? An iron butterfly you want to sell, right? So I'm just looking at, like 3 strikes to call. Okay, execute orders on multiple strikes together. You can do that if you have a custom watch list, right? Because you can create your custom watch list and enter all 3, but it's going to be 3 clicks, right? So right now we have an option to enter 2 strikes, but you don't have an option to enter 3 strikes. You'll have to click on sell on all 3 and all 3 will go, right? If you want to do a butterfly, right? So let's say I want to do a butterfly. I can basically say I'm doing a -1, and I'm gonna, let me hide this, right? Let's make it cleaner, right? So what I'm doing is, by selecting -1, I'm telling whatever is the straddle at the money straddle, take that position. So -1 and -1, and I'm saying, okay, look for hedges which are less than $10. Okay? I can specify a quantity here. Let me just clean the grid so that it becomes easier. Okay. I'll refresh this. Okay. So now I can basically say -1, -1, and then 10. What does this mean? If I say take 75 quantity with a -1 and a -1 and a 10 and 10, and I click on enter now, I'm telling the system look for at the money straddle and hedges for 10 and 10, anything which is less than 10 and is a multiple of 500. Right? So the closest strike which is multiple of 500 and is less than 10 is 42,500 and 39,900. I have taken a this is what the butterfly would look like, right? So I can click on exit now and it will exit the full position. Now this is when you know the quantity, right? A lot of people don't know what is the quantity that I can sell for a combination. Then you can have something where it's a margin, right? You can specify, I want to use, let's take an example, I want to use a margin of 10 lakhs, right? And I have something called as an order slicing. I'll do an order slicing of 900 in Bank Nifty for this demo, right? So I'm saying use 10 lakhs, do an order slicing of 900, and give me the same combination again, -1, and 10 and 10. And I click on enter now. This time, I'm letting the system decide how many quantity I can sell for a 10 lakh margin for the same combination. Now, the system will find out which strikes are there, what is the maximum quantity that I can sell for the margin that is specified. I think I've done 1 CR. Sorry, it's not 10 lakh. It is actually 1 CR. And it's going to do order slicing of 900. So it comes to 3,350 quantity of a straddle along with these hedges. And you can see there were 24 orders that was sent. Right? So I'll show you the order execution as well. So there was a buy leg that went first. We bought the FAR OTM hedges. Then we did a sell order. I think these are previous ones. Sorry, this is the one right now here at 54.10. Sorry, yeah, right here. Right. So we did a buy, sell, and all of these are for 900. So all the orders are executed. I can now exit half of the quantity from here and half of the quantity of this, and maybe just square off one leg if you are a directional player. So you don't have to calculate the quantity. The quantity will be calculated based on the margin that you specify. So I'm going to just exit all the positions again, and we'll look at the questions. Okay. So we've answered execute multiple strikes right now. Okay. On the entry, I'll first take one more. You can create your own basket, right? So one was based on the price. You want to specify the price, you can use auto entry. You can do a click of a button, and you can also do time based. Sorry, I forgot to mention that. I can specify a time in future and select that time, leave the configuration and check the checkbox at that specific time, which is, let's say, 11:04 first second. This will take an entry based on the parameters that I've specified. So it's a time-based entry that is allowed, right? So that's also possible. There's a time-based exit also allowed, right? You can basically say at 2 o'clock, 25th second or 29th minute and 16th second, I want to exit this position. It will basically exit at that specific time, whatever open positions that you have. Right? If you are somebody who wants to create baskets, you can create a basket by specifying the strike, and you can do all the way to 9,000 quantity right here. Right? I want to enter 9,000 quantity of, let's say, let's take a valid scenario. We'll say 39,000 of call, and let's say 41,000 of call, and we'll say 9,000. I can type. Right. I don't want to take hedges. Right? I can leave hedges as it is, and I can just click on execute here. It's going to take this position. Right. Okay, so let me ask the question. Let me look at the questions. Okay, right. So it has already taken. If you can see, it has taken the position. It has done the order slicing, 900 each. I can change the order slicing to a lower value of 600. Then the orders that will be sent will be of 600 quantity instead of 900. Let's say if I try 900 right now, and I'll make this a 0. I only want to take one leg, right? Some people are directional players. They want to just take 900 quantity of 39,000. If I click on execute, this time I'm going to enter the first leg went for 600 because the order slicing was 600, and the remaining 300 went as a second order. So that's where you have an option of determining what is the order slicing that you want to do, and you can have your own baskets that you can create. So I'm going to just look at the question and take a pause and answer those questions. Okay, why do you charge for paper trading? So the broker needs an API, right, to access the LTP prices, right? So the LTP prices are coming through APIs directly. Now for the system, we also, like I mentioned, we do give you a VM, right? Irrespective of whether you do a paper trading or not, we do have a VM that we assign to you. So that's why even if you only want to do a paper trading, right, the trial period that we're offering is of $9.99 plus GST for 15 calendar days. I think that's a substantial discount on what we offer, right? So, and I would request generally do it for one lot, right? I think there are a lot of comments around how paper trading versus live trading can be treated very differently psychologically, right? So if you want to try it out, just do it with one lot. Don't go with your full capital, but you'll get to see how it performs in a live market. Your orders will be visible on your broker terminal as well. Right? So that's why, irrespective of whether you do a live or you do a paper trade, the charges are the same. Uh, Thanks for answering. Further exit all in one click. So how do you exit all in one click? I think I've answered that. You can exit by clicking on exit now. So if I click on exit now, I'll change this to 900 and we'll minimize the basket and we'll click on exit now here. You also have a function which is convert to NRML. If you're doing MIS and you want to take the position overnight, just click on convert to NRML. It will convert your position into an overnight position, which is your NRML position. And you also have an option to convert the live trade into a paper trade. So what will happen is, a lot of times we think, okay, what if I stayed in that position? How would that work out, right? Will I make more money or will I lose more money? You can convert the same position by clicking on a paper trade. It's going to exit your live position and take a corresponding paper trade position, and you can still do all the automation, all your strategy on a paper trade and see whether you would have made more money or less money. Because a lot of time we feel, okay, maybe I exited too early or maybe I exited too soon. If you want to find that out and if you decide to exit, you can just click on convert to paper trade. The whole position will be squared off, your profit or loss is booked, and a corresponding trade is taken on a paper trade. Uh, Thank you, Ankur Mahajanji. Thank you so much for your wonderful comments. Can I use price action and enter and exit? You can use, yes, you can. So a price action is in the right below, right? There's a price action automation which has an exit option. It can be used to exit. You can use auto entry, auto exit. You can use all the automation features. There's no restriction in terms of automation features that you use. You can always combine any level of automation, or you can do it fully manual, right? The choice is yours. How to see individual leg MTM? We show a current price, right? We show you a portfolio level. So whatever you're combined. So let's take a position where, let's take a triangle right here, right? So we'll take a triangle of combined of 75 and I'll sell this, right? You do see a current value of what the option is, right? So based on what is the quantity, what is the current value if this option goes to zero. How much have you made on an individual leg? We don't show here. We do show a current PNL right now, since the market is not moving. It's not you're not getting live updates, right, on the prices. If you had a position and the market is moving, your current PNL will reflect what is the current PNL of your position. How do you see individual link? That's ours. Charges for a month. I'll cover all that towards the end again. One more thing, if you haven't tweeted, right? So let me just put that on the chat. We were running a promotion for people who would like to try this product free of cost. You have an option right now. On the call, I will be answering the results. So if you haven't tweeted yet, this is your last chance to do so. I'm gonna put a link to for you to make it easier if you would like to tweet, if you'd like to retweet. So this is where the link is. I'll put that on the chat as well. Right. Back to my screen. So if you haven't done this, this is your chance to do it. Right? You can tweet and get a monthly subscription free of cost. Can you create and add strategies and run the same daily without any interventions? Yes, you can basically do that, right? Today is a Friday, right? Let's see if I loaded any strategy. No, not yet, right? So I can save the full strategy. Let's say I take a position right now, right? I'll just hide this, and I want a price action of 40, a price check of, so let's do 200 because that's a valid value. I'll just show you this in live and then we'll look at, let's do a price action of 40 and 40. This is also turned on. We'll do a price difference of 55. I'm just showing you, right, that this is a possibility that you can just save your strategy, right? These are all part of your strategy, right? Let's say this much is good enough, right? And I can say, let's say negative minus 30,000 is my minus 3,000, and let's say 40,000 is my target. I want to do a P&L also. I can just save this. Right? When I save this, I've saved the whole configuration for a strategy. Right? Now I'll go and change this to Monday, and let's say I'll load Monday if I have. I don't have anything. Let me see if I have anything for Tuesday. Maybe not. I haven't saved. Right? So let me just clear this off completely. Right? I'll say stop, and we'll go back to original state. And let's say I've opened this from scratch. So the values are different. Now I can go back and select Friday and click on load. Okay. On a paper trading, I don't let you load. Sorry, I just realized on a paper trading, I can't allow. The option is only in the live market. So because all the configurations are applicable in live, it's not on a paper trade. So I'll enable this on a paper trade as well, right? Where you can load a configured setting. Right? I just realized that I didn't. I'm in a paper trade. So to answer your question, yes, it is possible. You can just load the configuration and save the configuration in a live market and use that same configuration every single day. All you have to do is under which name you have saved it and then load that configuration for that specific day. So 999 plus GST is for 15 calendars days. This is the promotion that we're running right now. You can check out the detailed pricing on TradeFlow.in. So, so this is the website. You have all the details around the product on the website as well. Okay, you so when you say you're basically doing uh, debit spreads or credit spreads, right? In terms of auto entry, you're specifying the quantity. It's going to be the same quantity, right? So you can use a custom watch list and have your individual leg where you can say, okay, I want to sell this as 150 quantity, and this one I want to sell only 50 quantity. Right? So you have that option from here. You don't have a combined entry based on the premium, right? So you basically a spread at 200 points, uh, entry now with an SL. Okay, so that is here in this triangle. Right? So you have a 200 point spread, which is 41 200, 4800. You can click on, I'll just hide this. Right? So you have this spread, a 200 points triangle. You can basically go and add 325 here and say sell. Now that has been added right here. So we already had the position. Let me square this off and show you one with 300 points. Yeah. So now you've taken a 300 point. Okay. Okay. Moving on. Right. So that's on the entry and exit. You have the basket, you have the straddle, you have auto entry, auto exit. We talked about order slicing. You can do order slicing right here. Max price is for protection from freak trades. Weight ticker is, I'll take an example. You've sold something for 122. You generally put a stop loss of, let's say, 150. Now, a lot of time what happens is it goes to 150 and then returns back from 150. So that becomes a challenge because as soon as the stop loss is hit, you're out of the market. Now, you want a mechanism where it needs to be consistent that yes, the stop loss, the 150 is breached and it has breached consecutively. Only then I want to perform an action. So in that case, you have an option of a weight ticker. What we're telling the system is instead of moving or exiting as soon as it touches 150, wait for 5 price updates. Only if 150 is consecutively breached, only then perform an action. Right? So that way, there's a lot of stop loss hunting that goes in the market. You're protected from that stop loss hunting. Number of adjustments is not when this is an automation system. If you're running fully automated, you're basically telling a system that through automation do 11 adjustments. After that, around 9th adjustment warn me, and after 11th stop automation. You can change this all the way to 29. So that is the number of adjustments that it will allow before you intervene. you can always reset the counter by clicking on refresh. Move by 2 strikes and hedges is basically, if you don't want to exit the buy positions, you have an option. If you want to, whenever we are moving, right, you want to move by a single strike or 2 strike, that's where this automation comes into picture. Let's look at what are the different automations available. Right? I'm going to just go to none. Now, the first one is price check. Price check is basically if I set this to 110, 120, and I have this checked, I'm telling the system whenever the LTP price, I'm going to exit this anyway, this is confusing, right? So whenever my LTP of an option goes above 100, I want to risk off. This is a pure risk off strategy where I am risking off whenever the LTP price of my option is going above 100. Now, when I risk off, so if I have sold a call which is at 41,000, it's going to go to 41,100. So it's going to square off the existing position, basically buy the existing position and sell the next position which is away from the spot, which is 41,100. Now I also have a flexibility of saying move by 2 strike. Now if I have this checkbox checked, then instead of moving from 41,000 to 41,100, it's going to move to 41,200, which is moving by 2 strikes. So this is an automation logic that you can change. Now you can uncheck and that automation stops. If you change the value, a new value gets reflected. Let's say you sold something at 80 during the start of the market. Now that same option is at 50. You are not going to wait all the way till 100. Right? So you basically can come and change this and say it should be now, let's say 86. Right? So you can always change the value as per where you're trading, as per what is the position that you have taken at, and then you can check or uncheck this checkbox. The second one, right? So let me take a position which is an auto update, where you can define a percentage value of I've sold for 100. I want to add a 20% top on top of it. After that, it should automatically risk off. So let's take a strangle. I'll uncheck this and we'll do a strangle again, which is, let's say, this price. So this I can demonstrate right now, right? I have a call which is at 36. Right? If I do an auto update and a price check is checked, now when this call is moved and I'm moving, I can see the strike and the price here. Right? So when I'm moving away, I'm moving to 41,900. When I'm moving away by 2, I'm moving to 42,000. Right? When I'm coming closer, I'm coming to 41,700 by 1 strike. If I'm moving closer to the spot, I'm moving to 41,600. You can see the LTP and the strike. Let's say I want to come to 6620, right? The one which is at 6620, and I click on this button right now to come closer. What it's going to do is it's going to clear up it's going to square up this position and take a new position which is at 41,600. Now I have a price check which says auto update and add 20% to the sell price at which I enter. Right? So let's see in this in action. I click on this. You can see the value changed to 79. Now this was automatically changing. 66 plus 20% of 66 is 13. So 66 plus 13 is 79. It has automatically updated. Let's say I change this to 50, 30%. And now I move to 118. If I click on, let's risk off, right? Let's go to 36. If I click on 36, you can see the value changing to 47. So I'm defining a percentage after which I will then risk off again. When I'm at 36, I've told the system when it goes to 47, I want to risk off. Right? So that's a price check. This is purely this is like you can define the percentage, you can tell the absolute LTP price without the auto update, or you can just uncheck this and the whole automation stops. Right? Let me just take let me go on the top. Okay, like spread, but this is a triangle. I'm looking about debit split. You can do a debit split, sir. You can't do it on a click of a button. You can basically, because what you're saying is I'm selling, I'm taking more premium, right? So you basically you do it through quantity, right? You basically be either doing it, so you're going to sell 2 lots of closer to the spot, and then one you're going to buy far OTM, right? So you can do all that because you have your own custom list, you have your individual items, right? Where you can select the quantity and then take that combination. So any combination that you want to do, you can do that from the watch list itself, right? I can create my own watch list and do it. We will be adding IV, right? So we will be showing, sorry, not IV, we will be showing VIX in a later version. We'll be adding that. Deepak ji, exit now button should be highlighted and visible somewhere near MTM. Uh, So a lot of users are now used to it, right? I would not be moving this again next to a different position. The reason we have exit now is closer to the time base, because similar to enter now, where you can specify a time and an entry on a click of a button. Similarly, you have a time based exit and on a click of a button. Right? So you have both the options. You can decide to exit based on a specific timing, and you have an option to exit or enter based on click of a button. So a mobile face interface is nothing but you logging into the same VM but on a smaller screen. So the screen is exactly what you see here, but on a mobile screen. If we are set a price and a price check option with a sudden gamma spike, SL jump, then how can handle this student by TradeFlow? Okay, if we set a price in a price check, right, option wherever sudden gamma. So yesterday I was doing live, right, I was showing this, there was multiple spikes. Right? Now it will depend on multiple options. I'll give you an example, right, to answer your question. I'm at 36. I can choose to have an entry at 47, do it at 51, can go all the way to 109. Right? It's up to you at what price you're comfortable to shift. Now, when a move comes, the move that will come at 41,800 will also come at 41,900. Let's say I have half of the position. Right? So this is at 28, this is at 36. When I'm moving this, when let's say I had a setting of 42 here. When a move came at 42, it's going to start risking off. Now, because of a spike, even the 41,900 from 28 will go, maybe if not 42, it will go up to, let's say, 20, 35, 37. Right? So I'm going to lose 6 points, but after those 6 points, I'm going to take back 4 points because I'm shifting my position from 41,800 to 41,900. The spike that I gave, the points that I gave during that spike, when squaring off my call, because the execution is so fast, as soon as I exit this position, this next position is being taken. I don't have to calculate what quantity, whether I have margin. It's going, let's say, even if I didn't have margin for 100, right? When a spike comes, sometimes margin requirement goes higher. When I try to shift this 100 all the way to 41,900, it's possible that the requirement has changed in the margin and I'm not able to sell 100. The system is smart enough to then reduce the quantity to 75 and then try, so that you don't miss out on the price. Your execution will still happen. Right? I hope that answers your question. And we saw multiple of those, yes, in our sorry live session yesterday, where there were a 10 o'clock spike, then somewhere around 12:30, and then somewhere around 2 o'clock, right? And we managed quite well. I think system protected me all throughout. So why is it showing country code error when I select? You can please reach out to me after this session, and we'll try to solve your problem so that you can start with the trial from Monday. Yes, you can. Right? Currently, by default, we give 1.5 CR. If you see, if you want a higher margin, right now in the paper trade we've given 1.5 CR. I think that gives you a decent amount to try out with, right, to see how the system will perform in a larger quantities. Right? So that's on the paper trading. There are no questions. I'll talk about the next one, right? So we've talked about just risking off. What if some people have a style that I want to come closer? What I'm going to do is I'm going to first come closer and then maybe I'll risk off. So you have something as a price action. Now let me clean this up again. I'll just click on exit now and we'll do a refresh. Let's close all this and we'll take another position again. We'll add just this position. How system adjusts automatically? System will adjust automatically based on the rules that you define, right? Like for example, I'm taking an example of a price action. Now a price action works on how much is the price moved, right? How much has the movement happened? Right? So basically, let's say I'm at 149. I can specify on a call if there is a 25-point movement. I have this set up right now, right? I'm telling the system now, if the call has a 20, let's make it easier and make it 21. So it's easier to, because it's 149. Right? So when there's a 21-point up move or a 21-point down move, perform an action. Now, if I'm making money because I sold at 149, minus 21 is going to be 128. If this call goes to 128, it's going to come closer. If the same call goes to 149 plus 21, which is 170, it will automatically risk off. So a price action works on both directions, to come closer or to move away. On top of it, if you're doing a 920 straddle where you want to basically just make sure that the losing leg is squared off, you can use an exit option. Whichever leg is losing by the number of points that you've specified, that leg will be squared off. The winning leg will continue to uh, trade, right? So we don't touch the winning leg. The winning leg will keep coming closer based on whether you have this automation still turned on. And if, let's say, 21 points, let's say the market went down, the put was squared off, and you have a 21 setting here. As soon as 128 is touched, the call will come closer. Again, if you are able to capture 21 points again, the call will again come closer. We don't match premium, sir. A premium can vary at any point of time, right? It's basically uh, here it's purely price action, right? Everything that you see here is on the LTP or on the spot. I may, in this combination, I'm at 19 and 149, right? If I try to match the premium, when I square off this, it's going to come all the way to 129, 149. You have an option to move by a strike or two strike. So there's no premium matching that happens. Premium matching will automatically happen if you have the right settings. Right? So that's on a price action, which works both ways. It helps you come closer, it helps you risk off. And both legs are independent of each other. If one moves, it doesn't mean that the other will also move. Whatever value that you specify, for example, in this situation, the put will only move if the put goes to 29 or put goes to 9, irrespective of whether the call moves or not. So that's on the price action. So we're not looking into matching premiums, and there is a reason behind it. What if it is at 41, right? So your one premium is at 60, another one is at 61. How wide can we go, right? A lot of people will say, I'm okay to be looking at if the range is 10%. Somebody will say it's 20%. So it's we've tested this out. This, in my opinion, didn't give a good result of doing exactly premium matching, and the conditions are very wide, right? And the market is moving. In this one tick, it was 40, and the next tick it is 60. What happens then? So that's why we don't do premium matching, and we don't have any plans of introducing premium matching. Okay, if that's right, let's move to the third one, which is a price difference. And so price difference, basically, I'll show that here. Okay, right. So you can see 107 right now. I'll increase this value to 108. Now, a 107 that you see here is basically a difference between the 41 and the 149, the LTP of the two options. Right? So whatever is the difference between the LTP of two options, whenever the skew is higher, you want to bring the one which is at a lower price closer. So this automation helps you bring the winning side closer. And so this is purely response strategy. The last is based on the spot difference. I want to stay away from a spot to buy a certain points to ensure I am not facing gamma. Right? So the gamma, the spike that happens in a gamma move, right? You want to avoid those kind of moves and stay away from those kind of moves. Use a spot difference and stay at least X points away from the spot. This is the automation to use for that. Finally, breakouts, right? Support and resistance. You can call them support and resistance, you can call them ORB strategies. What we're doing here is we're basically saying if the spot is greater than, let's say, if the market was live, I can say spot is, when the spot crosses 41,300, I'm going to buy 300 quantity, 3,300 quantity of a certain strike, 41,200, and I can check this. Now I'm telling the system whenever my spot is greater than 41,300, go ahead and buy 3,300 quantities of 41,200 call. Now whenever this criteria is met, the system will go and buy it. I can change this and say instead of buy, I want to sell, let's say 2,600 quantity of a put option. If the market is going up and if this breakout happens, add 2,600 quantity of this option to my sold positions. This can be also used to square off your existing position. Let's say in case of a breakout, I have 41,300 call. Right? I can just go and say this 41,300 call should be squared off 175 quantity. I want to just buy this back. So now if the spot goes above 41,300, I will buy my existing position, which is 41,300, 175 quantity. So it will automatically square off this position because I have a breakout rule which says buy back 175 for so and so spot as option. So you can treat this as a support or resistance. You can also have something which is a less than. On a downside, if market goes below, let's say 40,800, which is support, go and buy 300 quantity of a put option. So if you're a buyer, you can set this rule as well. Now you have two rules, both on support and a resistance. Right? So whenever the spot has breached these two levels, it is going to execute these rules. And these rules can, once you've executed this rule, you can always go and add this rule again. Right? So there's n number of times because this is fully flexible. You can change the rule as the market changes. You can change the criteria as the market progresses. It's very dynamic. Right? And last but not least, and then I look at the questions as well, is the P&L automation. I have defined here exit when the loss goes below 3,000 and my target is 40,000. If I leave this checkbox checked, whenever my profit is met, profit criteria of 40,000 is met, it's going to square off that position, complete position. And when my loss is beyond 3,000, it's going to square off my open positions. I also have an auto update option. Now this comes handy when you are making some profit. A lot of time what happens is we sat from 9:30 to 3, we're making 50,000, suddenly 3 p.m. move comes and that 50,000 is gone in minutes and maybe we end up losing money. Now if you have something where I had set a 10,000 bucket, now for every 10,000 my exit P&L will trail. So taking an example, let's say if you're making 10,000, the exit P&L will go to 0. If you're making 20,000, your exit P&L will change to 10,000. When you make 30,000, exit P&L goes to 20,000. What this means is when I was making 30,000, automatically system changed the exit criteria to 20,000, which is positive. If the market now makes a sudden move and my profit goes below 20,000, it will automatically square off my position. So making sure that my profit is still intact. I don't end up losing all my profit. So a scalper can use this when you're doing a scalping and ensure that, okay, if I'm making money, do an auto update to protect the profit that you've made. In case if there's a sudden move or it goes against your view, you can still make money by protecting via auto update feature. Uh, Lastly, some options that are easily available on the grid. I can add 500 quantity on a click of a button. Right? I can add to 50. I can add whatever quantity I want. I can keep adding from here. I can exit. At the end, you have exit 1/4, half, and 1. Similarly, from the grid itself, instead of creating any basket, you can just click on 1 and it will move. So I'm at 41,300. I'm going to move to 41,200. I'm going to just click on 1 and the full position is now shifted to 41,200. I want to just move half of the position. I can click on half and this time it is going to move to 41,100, which is it. Right? Again, I want to move the remaining half. I can do that on a click of a button again. This time 425 quantity moved. So it gives you full flexibility. No need to create a basket. You can click on a click of a button, move by a strike, move by a two strike, closer or away. I think this covers most of the features, and now I'll start looking into the questions. Let me see how system adjusts automatically. I think we've covered. Can we set price difference of 40% premium matching? I've covered. In case of a Nifty, it will calculate LTP itself. Yes, in FinNifty, now Zerodha supports MIS, but if you're doing a market order also, you can, the system, sorry, limit order, the system will automatically allow you to enter a position based on limits, right? So it's not just market orders. If you are doing FinNifty in Zerodha, it does support limit orders, and it will calculate the limit price automatically for every buy or sell. And and the logic is very smart. It adds buffer every time when you try to buy or sell. So yes, a limit order in a FinNifty is also supported. Market orders are straightforward. You can just fire market orders as well. Yes. When we do in Strangle is what we match premiums or delta whole day. Okay. All Strangle sellers do that. Okay. Maybe, sir. But my data, my result has shown better outcome in the style of trading that I have been following. The current P&L will also wait for the number of ticks that you specify, right? So if you have a higher value of the tick, right? I will be changing this logic. I think a lot of people have requested that irrespective of what the weight ticker value is, they want the weight to be 1. So as soon as that P&L is breached, you start exiting. Now what happens is, a lot of times if you are dealing with a larger quantity, the system is, this is another important point to notice. If you're doing MIS orders, the buy leg will go before the sell leg. If you're doing an NRML order, the system is smart enough to see the hedges Zerodha will not let you buy, so it will do a sell order before the buy order. Now, even for exiting, it will first exit your sold positions and then your buy positions. Also, when it's exiting, if you have a call and a put, let's say if you have 1,000 of calls and 1,000 of puts, and you have an order slicing of 900, the first 900 of a call and put will go simultaneously, so that it is always balanced when you are exiting also. So your exit is not like your 1,000 quantity of a call will first exit and then 1,000 quantity of put will exit. The orders and the quantity that will be going to the broker or through the API to NSE will be a call and a put together, so that we don't miss out on the prices. Okay. If there's no other questions, right? If you are interested in taking up a subscription, the number that you can reach us on is, I will put that. I think pretty much everything is available on our website. The pricing, the number, the YouTube list, right? We are easily accessible. I think I'll still put all the details on the chat one more time, so that if you are interested, you can reach out to us. The current promotion that we are running is for 15 calendar days. You can try out all the features. Earlier, we were not offering trials. Right now, for a limited period of time, we've started offering a trial of 15 days, where you can use all the functionalities and open 2 instances of the application. In addition, you get all the 3 indexes, right? So, and it still runs on the VM, right? So that is one. This is our Twitter handle, and if you want to contact us for any subscription related queries, this is the phone number. Okay, I forgot to answer one question. If you let's just want to start from Monday,